Yesterday, I was studying the Bible with a friend, and he said something that really struck me. He goes, you know how in marriage, when you're doing like the marriage vows, you say, for better, for worse, till death do us part. And it was like, he thinks that we Christians need to make our own vows to God. And it should be something like, for better, for worse, till we meet in eternity. Something like that. I think that one thing that affects our intimacy with God is what I'll call, trials and temptations. When we go through things, when we go through stuff, when we hit rock bottom, when God seems silent, when God seems distant. And I think many of us have been disappointed by God. We feel like he didn't hold up his own end of the bargain. We are frustrated with him. We are angry with him. He's hurt our feelings. It's like, how could you let this happen to me? And you claim to be my father. But I think that we are missing the point. Anytime God lets something, or let me say God permits something to happen to us, something that's not cute, something that is sad and it's sorrowful and something that breaks our heart, it's actually an invitation for us to grow in our walk with God. And Job didn't go through any problems. He just only heard of God. But then after he had gone through the ordeal, after Job had suffered the things that he suffered, he said, before I had only heard of you, Job 42 verse 5, but now I have seen you, my eyes have seen you. And that speaks to a deeper level of intimacy. I think that there is a purpose in God allowing those seasons of wilderness, of suffering, of trials, of temptations. It is to the end that we draw closer to him, and he is very particular about it. And we should be about that intimacy as well, because it's when we do know him that we can become who he has created us to be. It's when we actually know him that we have eternal life. It's when we know him that there's fulfillment. Everything is tied to knowing him. Everything is really tied to that personal relationship with him. And we need to be like the prodigal son who is like, you know what, I'm going to go back to God. We need to be like, this is a forever deal, God. It is for better, for worse. I'm not going to turn my back on you. God is such a loving father. He will always be on the porch waiting for us to come back to him. So go back to intimacy, go back to your father, go back to relationship.